Sharp Tutorials Part 29 Inheritance. Inheritance is also we can call it as a reusability. One of the most important concepts in object oriented program is inheritance. Inheritance allows us to define a class in terms of another class, which makes it easier to create and maintain an application. This also provides an opportunity to reuse the code and functionality and speed up the implementation time. When creating a class, instead of writing completely new data members and the member functions and programs can designate that the new classes should be inherit the members of an existing class. This existing classes is called as base class and the new class is referred to as derived class. The idea of inheritance implies two is-a relation. For example, mammal is a animal, dog is a mammal, hence dog is an animal as well as also a mammal, and so on. Base class and derived class. A class can be derived from one more than one class or interface, which means that it can inherit data and functions from multiple base classes and interface. The syntax used in C# for creating derived class is as follows: access specifier base class, derived class, and base class, and the method. On one base class variable features, we access different child class, derived class, and base class. Here is another example how we can write it. The class base class and the we declare the code for the base class here, and then we will call the child class through the base class where we declare the method for that. Please note colon is not but inheritance, which base class not gives the full functionality that the base class features can be accessed into the different child class. Here we can create the object for child class. Here is an example for inheritance. If you see, the class is declared base class and the function and method is declared for that whole here. For a function for the base class is declared here, and then we will declare the child class and base class. We inherit the base class uh, into child class, and we will declare the function for that console write line. And using this we call an object obj for e sal and ehs, which will write the method from here, and eSal method will call from here, which will display the salary values, and the total salary value in the string is so that the output is seen. Inheritance is classified into five types: single inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and multi-level inheritance and hybrid inheritance. Here is an example for single inheritance which we have discussed before. It is also almost the same. In this, we declare the base class and where we call a function method, and we will display the numbers as well. And then we will call the derived class where we you call the we will declare a method, and we will call the sum. Here it will be used only once. It is similar to the previous single inheritance is similar to the previous one. Multi-level inheritance. One child class but more child classes. One base classes and more child classes. Here is the syntax of it. When one class is derived from the another derived class, then these type of inheritance are called as multiple inheritance. Here is an example. Previously, we have declared one inheritance and we are declaring another inheritance animal bird. So writing this. And when we create an object and we call the person class, bird class, and animal class and console readline, it will display the output as this is a person, this is a bird, this is a class as we discussed before. Hierarchical inheritance, one base class and this base class relation between different child classes. For example, class father and class. Here is a syntax. How we write a hierarchical inheritance. This is the type of inheritance in which there are multiple classes derived from one base class. This type of inheritance is used when there is a requirement of one class feature that is needed in multiple classes. Here we can create multiple objects for the child class. Here is an example about hierarchical class. If you see the above code here, class B is inherited from class A, right? In this also class C is inherited from class A, not from class B. That's how the hierarchical inheritance was work. Multiple inheritance, more than base class and one child class. Here is a we declare two base classes and we declare the child class to the two base classes. Note: C# does not support multiple inheritance. C# does not support multiple inheritance of classes. To overcome this problem, we use interfaces. Hybrid inheritance. This is a combination of single, multi-level, hierarchical, and multiple inheritance. Note: C# does not support hybrid inheritance as well. We can overcome this problem virtual functioning functional overriding. C# inheritance is a process which one object requires all the properties and the behaviors of its parents object automatically. In such a way, you can reuse and extend or modify the attributes and behaviors that are defined in the other class. In C sharp, the class which inherits the Member of the another class is called derived class, and the class whose member is inherited is called as base class. The derived class is the specialized class from for the base class. Advantages of C-sharp inheritance is as follows. Code reusability. You can use the members of your parent's class so that there is no need to define the member again. So less code is required in the class. C-sharp single inheritance. Example, inheriting fields. When one class inherits another class, it is known as single level inheritance. C-sharp multi-level inheritance. When one class inherits the other class which is further inherited by another class is called as multi-level inheritance. Inheritance is transitive, so the last derived class requires all the members of all these base classes. Multi Multiple inheritance is not supported by in C-sharp through classes. C-sharp aggregation has a relation. In C-sharp, aggregation is a process which one class defines on the other class as any entity reference. It is another way to reuse the class. It is a form of association that represents as a relation. For more visitors on our website www.cdcreative.blogspot.com and click below to subscribe now, and for more C Sharp tutorials click the playlist below, and for more AngularJS tutorials click the playlist below. Thanks for watching our video. Have a nice day.